Do you want to be the biggest, or do you want to be the only? Most people would automatically want to be the biggest. I want to be the biggest. I want to be the best. Well, to be fair, only one company, only one person can be the biggest, the best. So unless you are determined that you are going to be the survivor, you're going to be the last man standing, you might want to consider being the only. And if you look at this, I first heard this from Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, and he was talking about this back in the 90s, that they had a choice at Amazon. They either could be the biggest or they could be the only. And if they were going to be the only, then they were going to stick to books, and they were going to be just a very, very niche bookseller. And Jeff decided, no, we're going to be the biggest. We're going to be the best. The downside of aiming to be the biggest is if you are not the biggest, you're never going to win. If you are number two, number one will always trounce you. Who wants to build a business where someone says, is Pepsi okay? That's what it's like to be number two. No matter what you do, the other guy can always outspend you. He can always outmuscle you. If you are competing in any sector and Jeff Bezos is competing with you, Jeff is going to win. He can just outspend you. He can squeeze margins. He has better relationships with you. He has a much bigger flywheel than you. However, where Jeff cannot compete with you is in being the only. If you can niche your business down so much that you are the only player, you are then naturally the biggest in that little sector of one that only applies to you. I cannot be, or I could be, but I don't want to be, like the biggest business author in the world. I don't know who that belongs to. Tim Ferriss, Tony Robbins, someone like that. If I'm playing that game, if I'm playing being the biggest, being the best, then I'm on a loser to begin with. I am not going to win that game. So how do I be the only? Well, I can be the only normal bloke from Plymouth who helps ambitious lifestyle business owners improve their business and their lifestyle by 1% every week using my unique blend of all the books I've ever read, all the businesses I've ever run, and all the experiences that I have ever had. That makes no one can compete with me. There is no one that can be better at being John Lamerton than John Lamerton. So think about how you might be able to create the business that is you. It is just monetizing being yourself. You are not aiming to be the biggest in your sector. You are aiming to be the only.